Hey, what's going on, MP Nation? MP Nation. Hey, we got video log number 7 here. I've had a lot of people ask me recently about my cheat meals. Everybody likes to cheat, right? But the key is what's the best way? And let's even define what it is, right? So to me, the way that I best learned it is truly by just going through it, seeing what my body was doing, testing things out, talking to Dr. Eric Serrano, who's the main formulator, when we were doing different diet things all the way from like early 2000s up to now. And so what I found out which works best for me personally, and everybody's a little bit different, because I'm highly sensitive to carbohydrates, and I've spoke about that before. So I usually stay really a low carb diet, getting ready for shoots and stuff, more like just green vegetables and occasionally a sweet potato or brown rice to kind of give myself a little bit of a carb up. But realistically, I'm mostly like a medium fats, almonds I always talk about, and so I keep those in my diet pretty much all the way throughout. So when I come up to the cheat day, there's a couple things that I take into account. The first thing is I always make it on a leg day. And the reason being for that is that you stimulate the most hormone release when you do legs. Especially if you're doing the leg workouts that we're putting out on Facebook and Twitter, your body is going to probably respond much better than if you're doing a smaller group, muscle group that's mostly isolation movements, other than squats, deadlifts, and things like that. And so you get a hormone response on the day, so your body can utilize those calories a little differently. And so there's a couple things that I always do. I plan it on a leg day. I usually don't do the cheat meal for breakfast. Back in the day, Dr. Serrano said, Corey, if you want to eat pancakes, that's one of my favorite things to eat, right? If you want to eat pancakes, still eat your breakfast to establish your insulin, and then your second meal, eat your pancakes after you've already trained. He said the first meal was so important not to jack it up to where you just kind of messed up your whole day. Whether it was just feeling that way or in theory he just thought it was better for your spike not to be the first thing that you do when you get out of bed. That's why I always tell people who are trying to lose weight, don't get up and drink orange juice and eat a banana. You know what I mean? Try to keep your insulin stable. So ideally for me, I would train legs. I would, as soon as I'm done training legs, go eat my cheat meal. Now, when I'm cheating, I'm not saying I'm just eating like extra sweet potatoes. Hey, I like ice cream and pizza just like the next person. For me personally, if I eat a bunch of pizza, obviously with the sodium, the bread, things that I don't normally eat, comes a good bit of water retention with that. And so some people's heads can't deal with when they get up the next day that they have that type of water retention. So be careful with that and just be mindful. For me, I'd rather just go get a Blizzard or something. I mean, there's been times when I've been dieting and it comes up to Friday night and my kids want to go get some ice cream and they know that dad can do something on Friday night, so they're excited, right? And so I'll go and go get a Reese Cup Blizzard. And to me, it's like still high calories, but I don't get the water retention from it. I don't really feel, I definitely feel an insulin response, but I just don't feel as bad if I do more of a sugar-based one rather than a bread-based one. So kind of keep that in mind too. And also for me personally, it's one like meal, especially when I'm getting ready for something. And then even towards the end, I cut that out. Just personally, it's better for me. If I'm eating low glycemic carbohydrates, trying to put size on, keep my body weight at a decent body fat percent, I'll still cheat once a week, and sometimes I might eat pizza. But for the most part, I do more of a sugary type of cheat. And like I said, I'd get up to the window and say, I couldn't even say Reese Cups. I was Blizzard. I was so excited to eat it, right? So it's one of those things where I think it depends on the body type, how fast your metabolism is, how good your genetics are. I know people that followed the anabolic diet before to where they can do basically a cheat load and can go 48 hours and not gain any body fat, really not smooth out at all, still look hard as a rock, get a great insulin response, and the body just eats it up. For me, it's like one meal, maybe two, and then my body starts to smooth out a little bit. A lot of people think I'm just like a genetically gifted guy. But at the end of the day, the reason why the opportunities that are here for me now is because I've put 10 years into my body at a high level, learning from high level people, and I've sped that process up for a lot of you guys because now I've learned so much and I can get that out. But at the end of the day, a big reason why these opportunities are here now is because I've spent all this time learning all these things. And everybody's so different. I mean, I used to think I could cheat for 48 hours. The problem is then I'd be a week back on my diet. So you got to make sure that you get just kind of a good area where you're cheating enough to get the insulin response, fill the glycogen back up, muscle bellies feel good, you feel good, mentally focused, excited about the cheat, but also about the get back on the plan, and then to actually like have a healthy response from it, not to where it makes you take 2 steps back. And so the key is finding that happy median with that. So realistically, it's all about you. You got to test yourself out. At the end of the day, you're your own science project. You got to look at it like that. That's how I've looked at myself all these years, as my own science project. You know, it took 6 months of dieting the first time for me to get abs. It took a while. So I wasn't a guy that was born with them by far. And so you got to put some work in. You got to test things out. You got to give yourself time. But at the end of the day, I usually go 1 to 2 meals. It's after leg day. It's pretty much whatever I'm craving at that time. But then I got to turn it off and go right back to what I'm doing to keep my body fat low. And so hopefully that helps out. This is cheat meal timing. Video log number 7. I got a couple more video logs coming up after this. I got what I call my bucket of rehab, which is basically all the stuff I got in this bucket in my gym that kind of helps me when I got things kind of hurting or whatnot. I'm going to do a video log at Westside next week on box squatting with Louie. And you know, as I travel around, see different athletes and see different people that have been influential on me and still are to this day, we'll continue to do these things. And we just all learn it together, MP Nation. Go check out this shirt. It's hot. Thank